It is my pleasure to introduce Deborah Doyle McWhinney. She is a board member of IHS Markit and Fluor Corporation. Debbie draws upon her decades of experience in the financial industry, from Bank of America to Charles Schwab and Citigroup, to sponsor professional women as senior executives, board members, and business owners. And of course, she's a past Aiming High honoree as well. We're thrilled to have her here with us today. Debbie, welcome.
Thank you, Scarlett. You know, it is really nice to have you here, and we really thank Bloomberg for giving us their talent. So about 2.5 years ago, a company I was on the board of called IHS merged with Markit and became a $13 billion company, and Sari was the general counsel. And it didn't take me very long in working with her to say, aha, Karen, I've got a person for you. And it has really been a delightful 2.5 years getting to know Sari. But more importantly, I've watched how she has grown in being a general counsel from a $6 billion company to a $13 billion company, and today we're over 20 billion, and we have our CEO and chairman, Lance Ukla, here. And one of the other award winners is Bill Ford. So with talent like that, you know, heck, I didn't know that was not a forward-looking statement. So here with Sari today are some very important people in her life. And when I'm introducing someone for this award, I think it's really important. You can read what they do professionally, but the people behind them and the people in their family are really the people that allow them to do the jobs they do and achieve what they do in their lives. So most important is her mom, Phyllis. Phyllis is sitting right over here, and I love Phyllis's story. Phyllis was told that she should major, she should be an educator, and she should teach home ec. Now, I was thinking about home ec because home economics, to about 2/3 of this audience, means the economics behind buying a home. And I was thinking, Phyllis, you should give us a TED Talk on your best tips. We would probably all go home and be better off for it. Also in the audience is her husband, Tim, at the AIG table. And Tim, it is so great to have you here. And thank you for all you do that helps Sari be such a good executive at IHS Markit. We also have her sister-in-law, Susan, and her daughter, Sasha. And I want to take a minute to just do a call out to Sasha and give you, like a big thumbs up. Your mom says super nice things behind your back. Keep it up, keep it up. Don't go, go off to college and go crazy on us. Just keep it straight and narrow. It's good. I asked Sari what she does that gives her a lot of joy outside of her family and professional life, and she told me that she is on the board and a big sponsor of a charity called Opening Act that helps with arts education, particularly on improv and theater in the schools around this area. And I just think it's really nice. And to me, it's always the symbol of somebody who is a really good leader and professional when they're involved in something where it takes that very few moments of precious alone time that we have and gives them to something. So, Sari, you're a rock star. I'm so proud to have you as the General Counsel of IHS Markit, and it's an honor to introduce you today. And here is her lovely award. My goodness. That's enough. Here you go.
Give this back to me. I am so honored to be on this stage. Legal Momentum, as you've heard, is a pioneer in the fight for gender equality, and their honor and just being here and looking out at all of you really overwhelms me. Sharing this stage with Kathy and Bill, who are both such influential and inspirational business leaders fills me with awe. I actually have been at events where each of them have been honored already, so this is also a little surreal. A special thanks needs to go to Debbie, who's now sitting in front of me, Kyoko Lin and the Davis Polk team, and to Lance, my boss and the CEO of IHS Markit, whose passionate commitment to gender equality in our workplace makes me proud. And of course, to Karen, Carol, Crystal, Elaine, and the Legal Momentum team for making this all happen. A friend of mine recently asked me to introduce him to the general counsel of another company who had posted a job search that he was interested in. I looked at the job description, and I looked at my friend, and I thought, I don't actually think he's qualified for that job. I introduced him anyway. But we all know the statistic. Men apply for jobs when they're 60% qualified, and women need to feel 100% qualified to apply. So, despite being pretty cautious by nature, in my career, I have had more jobs that I did not feel qualified for than the number of jobs most people have in a lifetime. It didn't start out that way. I went to law school because I was an English major, and that seemed like a good thing to do. I went to a big law firm because I was in law school, and that opportunity was available to me. And yet somehow since then, I have found myself managing a software development team of 200 people in India, running technology strategy for a learning company, running business development for a fintech company, and eventually becoming its president in charge of selling its assets in a wind down, and now as the general counsel of a fast-growing, as you heard, S&P 500 company. When I try to explain to people this adventure that I call my career, I often tell this story. So early in my role as a technology lawyer at Kaplan Educational Services, we had a cyber crisis. An anonymous emailer spammed thousands of our students and faculty claiming that he had hacked into our network and was planning to sell everybody's social security numbers to identity thieves. While I was just a CC on the initial crisis organizational call, I listened with concern to a group of senior executives who didn't know what to do next. I saw that someone needed to take charge, and I volunteered without actually really realizing what I was doing. Over the course of the next few weeks, I ran the response and investigation in cooperation with the FBI. We identified, tracked, trailed, and eventually arrested a former disgruntled employee who had not, by the way, gotten access to anything but email addresses, which is why you haven't heard about it. So I did love being part of that high-stakes, high-speed car chase that was the crisis, but I was also really happy to return to my day job as a tech lawyer, and that was a job I was comfortable doing and 100% qualified for. It didn't last long, though. A few days later, the CEO walked into my office to give me another opportunity to lean in. He asked me to run technology strategy across the firm's businesses. Now, that was definitely a job I was confident that I wasn't qualified for. So I asked him, why do you think I can do this? And he said, and I'm going to quote here, and just a warning that this may offend some of you in the room. He said, "Talented lawyers are a waste of talent." So there is no doubt that that is a questionable theory, but it does remind me to this day that I can and should stretch outside my comfort zone. This wasn't the first time that a manager identified potential in me that I wasn't ready to identify in myself and challenged me to stretch beyond my comfort zone, and it wasn't the last. For this, I can certainly credit myself, but I do feel tremendous gratitude to the several managers and mentors and to my own personal board of directors, by the way, many of whom are in this room, for helping me see more in myself every day and getting me to continually aim higher. And of course, in addition to finding these great advocates in my professional career, I have had the fortune of love, support, security, empowerment from my home life. My amazing mother, who's here, as you know, sitting next to my boss, which is a little scary, somehow juggled between being a full-time mom and a teacher, has devoted her life truly to supporting and celebrating my every move and my sisters and now her grandchildren. This support was fierce and continues to be, actually. And she might not be happy that I'm going to tell you this, but one of her favorite film quotes is, "Nobody puts baby in a corner," from the timeless classic Dirty Dancing. I can assure you that throughout this lunch, she's been trying to figure out how to tell Lance what will happen to him if he thinks about doing that. With this incredible woman's unconditional love, I built self-confidence, and watching her work ethic and tenacity, I built grit. My husband, Tim Greensfelder, who's sitting with his colleagues at the AIG table, has encouraged me to spin and scramble through this career adventure and has been my partner and my best friend every step of the way. And he always, always tells me when I have food in my teeth. My kids, Sasha and Teddy, Sasha's here today, as wonderful as they are, have given me the ever-evolving stretch assignment of parenthood. I can tell you that there is nothing like having teenagers in New York City to make you feel constantly outside of your comfort zone. Actually, though, when I look at Sasha and Teddy, who are these two amazing, brilliant, kind, enthusiastic, but cautious kids, who I definitely push out of their comfort zones more than they'd like, I hope for them that they too have the confidence to take risks and that they find their advocates like I have. Looking at this room filled with accomplished professionals, I hope too that all of you feel the responsibility to find those in your networks who have potential, but maybe not the confidence or the inclination to take risks. And when you find them, amplify their voices and give them the challenges that will help them thrive. Thank you so much for this honor.
Thank you, Sari, for those